Our society revolves around fossil fuels and chemical engineering, and not everyone is fit to do the task. And from the experienced to the novice, mountain climbing can be done by anyone with the drive to do it. And finally, UWF President Dr. Saunders talks about what it's like to be in her shoes, all that and more coming up on Argo News.
Good morning, Argos, and welcome to the final UWF Argo News Show for the semester. It's 10:45 a.m. on April 5th, 2019. I'm Abigail Meganson.
And I'm Kevin Humphreys.
Today we are going to start off with the many wonders of technology. As the cyber world grows, so does the need for people to manage the virtual landscape.
While smartphones and laptops are incredibly common, software engineers aren't.
I look at software that Oracle creates. We have a huge enterprise software division in addition to the Oracle database that most people know Oracle from the Oracle database. But we have a very large enterprise software base. And so when customers report a problem with the software, we get a bug report and I look at it and I analyze the logs. I figure out what must have happened in the customer environment. I look at the source code, C++ source code, and figure out how to recreate the problem, very much like a car. How do you recreate the problem? Does it knock when it's cold? Does it stall when it's hot? Whatever. And then go debug using a whole bunch of other tools, figure out how to fix the problem, how to change the code to make the customer's problem go away, and then check it in and give them a patch. And it goes into the next release of the software so that more people don't hit it. And recently, Oracle has started creating the Oracle Cloud. So they are a leader along with Google, because everybody's heard of Google Cloud, right? So, and they are a leader in software along with, I think, Microsoft and Google and Oracle are the main big technology companies now. IBM is kind of fading down a little bit. They're like second tier now. So it's actually a very big software company that a lot of people haven't heard about.
I know I have a newfound appreciation for people who make virtual problems virtually disappear. I'm Emily Payne, reporting for Argo News.
Accessibility has changed, paving the way for new platforms for people to share, connect, and influence.
Fashion, lifestyle, brand deals. All of these are a part of an influencer's content base, but what exactly does it entitle?
So with Tori Sunshine, I have my blog and my Instagram. On my blog, I really do focus on fashion, sustainable fashion, and sustainable brands in general, books and movies, and mental health. And then on Instagram, I keep the focus the same, and I try to post every single day on Instagram. And just like really the whole main concept of Tori Sunshine is to let people not feel alone and really give people tips on just life in general and things that I think would be helpful. I won't ever put anything out if I don't think some people might not get anything from it. So that's the basis of Tori Sunshine. Basically, you should find what you want to talk about and really do like a self-evaluation on what do you want to say to the world? Like, what do you have to offer? And then after that, I would say you need to be consistent and consistently post every single day, or consistently putting stuff out regularly. If it's not every single day, it needs to be at least twice a week at the minimum. And other than that, just really be yourself, because that's like what you have to offer. Before you have the numbers or anything else, you have your content and who you are. So that's those tips are the best tips for starting out. I would definitely recommend going into something like this, because it's cool to have an open schedule and to be able to make money off of and get experiences off of creating content and having an outlet for yourself.
With a little bit of personality and a lot of hard work, anyone can jumpstart their passion as an influencer. I'm Jose Cruz reporting for Argo News.
Living in Pensacola doesn't always mean you're an expert on the city's history. One new app is trying to help people in Pensacola discover and explore what makes Pensacola great.
The popular app Let's Roam just came out with a Pensacola-based scavenger hunt. The hunt is led entirely by your phone, so there's no guide, and it dives deep into Pensacola's rich history and beautiful landmarks. Let's see if this app is a good find.
Well, I am a history major, so I would say that my knowledge of Pensacola history is pretty good, but I'm interested to get it tested today. During this scavenger hunt, I'm hoping to maybe go down by Palafox Pier. It's a beautiful day. Maybe go through some of the parks, but let's go see. We won. We completed the whole scavenger hunt. We got a score of 1,150, so we did a really good job. We got all of our challenges done. We saw all the spots. We did a great job. My favorite part was definitely going to Palafox Pier and running through the water and just like playing around and just having a good time. Something that I learned that I didn't know was that the first Catholic Mass in America was actually held on Pensacola Beach because this is America's first settlement. The path of the scavenger hunt took us down historic Pensacola, the historic village. We went past the post office, down to Palafox Pier. We went past Pensacola Little Theater, the art gallery, the museum. We saw a little bit of everything. I would definitely recommend this as a family fun activity in Pensacola. I think that it would be a fantastic thing for families to do, even with young kids, just to kind of be put in the action, be put in the history. This was an absolute success. We had such a fantastic time. We learned a lot. We spent some really great quality time together and had a great time exploring our city.
The Pensacola scavenger hunt was a hit. From riddle solving to picture taking, our team crushed local high scores. Bring your family out and try to beat our high scores. I'm Ali Cateo reporting for Argo News.
Dealing with fossil fuels can be dangerous, but the processing of them is what society relies on. Argo News reporter Hannah Walders has more on the story.
Chemical engineering is an important but very risky job. However, some must be fit to the task.
I got hired on with Chevron as a process engineer in the utilities area. So I handle the water usage, nitrogen usage, instrument air, fuel gas, and other utilities throughout the refinery. So our economic business profile is that we buy really, really cheap crudes because we can process them, and then we make enough oil to like make up the money difference. But since we can no longer buy crude from Venezuela, we're having to find different crude sources, and so it's making the business portion a little bit more tricky. Hydrosulfide, I think, is the gas, and if you breathe it, it burns your nostrils and then you die. It's a very toxic gas, and so we wear these little monitors that tell us like if there's any low explosives in the area, any hydrocarbons, any H2S, and so we always have to have those on. And then we wear hard hats and fire resistant clothing, and we have steel-toed boots, and so they make sure that we're personally protected, but you always want your PPE or your personal protective equipment to be your last line of defense. Energy isn't something that's ever going to go away. Even if we move from the fuel oil that we're using now, people are still going to need a way to heat their house, to cook, to get from place to place. And so even if, 20, 50 years from now, we're no longer using fossil fuels to make gasoline, there's still going to be some type of energy provider. And Chevron, even though our main products are going to be the jet, the diesel, the gasoline oil, we also provide electricity with our cogeneration units, where we take the fuel gas and we run it through like a vacuum, and it generates steam, which then generates electricity.
A lot more goes on behind the scenes than we know, and sometimes what happens in other countries can affect our own. I'm Hannah Walders reporting for Argo News.
Spring is just around the corner, and there's no better way to get out and enjoy nature than heading to the golf range to work on dusting off your golf swing.
Ooh, looks like I could use some lessons.
Pensacola Golf Center actually is a wonderful area for people that want to come out and just hit range balls and come here with their kids. You don't have to really wear a college shirt. You don't have to be all country clubbed out. It's really just, socially coming up here, hitting some range balls, practicing on your game. It's in a great location. There's nothing like that around in the area. So it's all about getting your golf game honed in, basically. Just don't have to do it on such a high level. Well, we have lessons. The driving range, you can hit up to any kind of club that you want. We have a grass area, we have mat area. The grass area, we do only allow irons because of how short the range can be sometimes on an angle over there. But lessons, me included, Ryan Maddox is also one of the guys that give lessons out here, but I do most of the lessons. I run the everyday operations, but most of the time, lessons can be booked at any day, any time. So all you have to do is contact me or book it through our website at pensacolagolfcenter.com, or you can go to Ryan's website and book his lessons there as well. So that's a lot of we have to offer is range balls and lessons as well. First off, we're gonna take the building that we have now, we're gonna completely demolish that, which is exciting. Everybody's excited about that as well. We're gonna have a big lesson VIP center for fitting. Flight Scope's gonna be in there where we can give lessons and video it. We're also gonna have 10 covered bays, which will have shot radar in it from Flight Scope. And then also on top of that, we're gonna serve beer and wine as a social experience for somebody. We're gonna have our regular base that we always had. We're gonna sell retail, maybe even bring in some food trucks, but the whole building is gonna get a complete redesign, and it's gonna be restructured. The whole area is gonna be great. There's gonna be new chipping and putting greens. It's gonna be unbelievable. We're all excited.
I'm feeling better already. Check out Pensacola Golf Center on Facebook or at their website, pensacolagolfcenter.com. I'm Luke Thompson reporting for Argo News.
For some college students, just making it through the semester is like climbing a mountain. Others are taking the analogy a little more seriously.
Mountain climbing is an extraordinary feat, but not something we always get to try here in the Panhandle.
There are some climbers, yes, that want to push their limits and push the ultimate limits of climbing, and they come in and they work out and they climb a lot and they do different types of drills and they have different types of exercises they do on a regular basis, and that works great for them. Not everybody has that mindset. They just want to have fun or be recreational, and there's people in the middle that are doing both. So it depends on the person on what it is that they want to accomplish and how they want to enjoy climbing. So if you're that novice beginner, which is the people that we really love, because most of the time, if you're into climbing, you're going to find somewhere to climb. It's the novice beginner that it's like, I want to do that, but I don't really know if I can do that, right? So we really set things up that there's sections of the wall that probably 95% of the population with no predetermined or pre-existing physical strength can come up and climb. There's a real popular move right now called free solo. Alex Honnold went up in Yosemite without any ropes, so he didn't use a belayer at all. Right? Since I mentioned free solo, there's a lot of misconceptions about that particular climb or free soloing in general. If you saw the documentary, he went through an extensive amount of training before he did that. So he went through and cleaned the hole. He trained for years to do it. So a lot of people think they did just climb over the wall. There's a lot of prep work to go into that. And he was climbing, the grading system is kind of convoluted a little bit, but he was climbing probably 4 or 5 steps below what his maximum level was. So he was at no point really fully exerting himself.
Well, it's sure nice to hear that with some hard work and dedication, you can achieve almost anything, even climbing mountains. I am Rachel Bozant reporting for Argo News.
There are many things you can do as a student that can help relieve stress. Cindy Townsend has more information on what one student does to help clear her mind.
Working out can have more benefits besides just getting you in shape.
When I first started working out, it was for ROTC, and I just didn't want to get yelled at anymore. So I went to the gym to try to be good at it, and then now it's mostly to be healthy and everything. I just, whenever I have free time, sometimes when I'm getting out of class and I have an hour before I have to be at work, I'll just hurry up and go to the gym and do a quick gym session and then go home and change and then go to work. And I work out every morning, Monday through Friday for an hour, and then whenever I have time, I just squeeze it in. I think that if you're not staying active, you definitely start to feel a little bit more depressed and under the weather. And I think, at least for most of my friends too, if they're working out, I think they always feel, you know, better about themselves and healthier. And like sometimes when I get like really stressed out about school, I'll go to the gym and work out for a little bit, and then I normally feel a lot better for the rest of the day.
Next time you're feeling sluggish and drained from school, try to clear your head and go to the gym. I'm Sydney Townsend, reporting for Argo News.
4 ways students can manage stress, and an exclusive interview with UWF's president, Dr. Saunders. All that and more coming up with Luke Thompson on Argo News after this commercial break.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. A thunderous spark. So bright. So loud. It cuts through clutter. Rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls. Tears down barriers. And blazes past old ways of thinking. It demands to be seen, heard, and understood. It's creativity. Pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Success isn't measured by fame or fortune, by the number of friends you have or the number of likes you get. It's measured by time and the amount of times you influence others to be better, to create something greater, and to do more for the community. Success rises above any challenge to transform something small into something spectacular. Something that pushes us beyond what's possible and withstands the test of time. Success is measured by the impact you make. What impact will you make? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Hey, welcome back, Argos. I'm Luke Thompson. And today, college life can be difficult, and sometimes things like food are not always a certainty. So reporter Zach Zedeker has more on one campus resource for those in need.
Many students struggle with food security. Let's find out how the Argo Pantry is here to help.
The Argo Pantry is a resource for students. So we provide food for students, we provide toiletry items, as well as school supplies. So it was kind of started to be able to help students who are food insecure. The Argo Pantry is located in Building 18, Hopkins Hall, in room 150. And so the Argo Pantry is available anytime that we're open, so Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So resources that the pantry provides, so students can stop by once a week for a bag of food, or they can stop by daily for snacks. So we have anything from like granola bars, chips. It just really ranges. It changes weekly almost in a sense. We also offer toiletry items, so toilet paper, deodorant, shampoo, all those items. We also have school supplies as well. And then also we do have laundry detergent when it's available. The Argo Pantry is completely run by donations alone, so any help that anyone can give us, whether it's just donating a thing of ramen, that helps go a long way to be able to feeding students. Of course, raising monetary donations, we accept those as well. So even just coming to volunteer in the pantry at some of our events, any way really that you can get involved with Argo Pantry, we would totally be able to help that.
Whether you need a quick snack or food for the week, the Argo Pantry is here for you Monday through Friday. I'm Zach Zedeker reporting for Argo News.
Actors have embodied some of our favorite characters, and after watching some of their performances, it's hard not to wonder sometimes what it would be like to have that career and where it started for them.
Brilliant actors have brought to us many characters that we love. And sometimes it's hard not to wonder what it's like to have a career in acting.
I knew I wanted to act when I was 10 years old. When I saw The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Charles Laughton, it's a black and white film, I think it's 1937. And I didn't want to be Esmeralda, I wanted to be the hunchback. I knew I wanted to be a New York trained actor. And when I was 18 years old, I went directly to New York and I studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And then I got out and I just started pounding the pavement, as you do as an actor, looking for work and looking for an agent. And it's kind of taken me all over the place. Acting. I've been to Arizona and California and New York, and even when I've been overseas, I have found a theater to play in. So yeah, it's been a wonderful journey so far. I've been here in Pensacola for the last 5 years now teaching. What are my favorite highlights? Yeah, I think there are a lot. I mean, you know, meeting some of the people I've had a chance to meet and work with, and it's wonderful. It's really great. I've got to meet wonderful people. So I love that. And the privilege to do the work, the privilege to tell people's stories, and the privilege to touch other people's hearts.
While acting is a pretty cool career to have, just remember everybody's experience is different. I'm Bailey Basso reporting for Argo News.
Some people may not know what all it takes to be an actor, so reporter Cody Graffius parts the curtains that hide some acting secrets.
Acting communities can be different from coast to coast, but one actor tells us more about just how different it really is.
It's like you're putting a magnifying glass on different parts of you, different emotions, different parts of your life. And it brings that out. You know, it helps you feel things you didn't think you could feel. And I think that's wonderful in every aspect. And I don't know, it helps you connect better to yourself and to your own story. They pay attention to actors. They pay attention to us. They give us what we need, you know, and if we're polite, they're polite, you know. But from what I've experienced over in LA is that no one really cares. No one does. There's this line that my film teacher says all the time. He says, "Don't trust the talent." And man, I never felt not trusted so much in my life. But you kind of just brush it off because you're there to work and they make it known. But here, you know that you're making a project, you're making magic, you're creating, and that's essentially what I want. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
It just goes to show you that hard work really pays off, whether it's acting or anything else. My name's Cody Graffius, reporting for Argo News.
With the spring semester coming to a close, Argo News reporter Ryan Keller went to an event that helps students cope with upcoming finals.
What are some of the best things to relax with? Paint, pause, and meditation.
Pet therapy in general is kind of like art, and the yoga and the meditation. I think scientifically, can't quote where it came from, but it lowers your respiration, it lowers your blood pressure, and it generally calms people. So people that have problems with anxiety or depression or just need relaxation, have trouble doing it. Dogs promote that, so do things like art. And so we just kind of like to morph all of them together sometimes in art in all the forms. I do expressive arts, which is painting, drawing, clay, you name it, anything. And it does the same thing. It lowers the blood pressure, it lowers the heart rate, and it relaxes. It also is an easier way for a lot of people to tell their stories and to work in therapy because you you don't have to be verbal with it. You know, you can tell a story without it. You know, and consequently, sometimes you find out a lot more about yourself, and for me, I find out a lot more about my client by them telling the story to me that way.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, there'll be another chance to pet these dogs April 17th at the Pace Library. I'm Ryan Keller reporting for Argo News.
A lot of students are wrapping things up and getting ready for graduation, and senioritis is at an all-time high. But we must make sure that those feelings end with college and you find passion as you begin your career. And here's Argo News reporter Kevin Humphreys with a student who has done exactly that.
College is soon coming to an end for seniors this spring. It is time for the graduating class to push forward and move onward in life. But a lot of students graduating have no clue what to do next.
Really just staying focused. Like I said, I've been in school since 2013, so my mind starts to wander. Just got to keep reminding myself I'm at the finish line. Just got to finish up strong. Really just finishing up strong, really, that's it. Got 3 more classes this semester. I graduate in May, so that's something that, like, we're right there. Just got to finish up strong. So my time at UWF as a football player was awesome. Transferred here from Troy University. First year I got here, I had to sit out for a whole season. That wound up being the season that we went to the national championship. So that was kind of bittersweet, seeing my team make it to the national championship. But being that I wasn't a part of that team as far as playing, that was kind of bittersweet, as I said. But I mean, it's awesome. Made some great memories, made some great friends along the way. Senior season came along. Was looking forward to it. We put in work, me and my teammates as well. So finished up. The senior season wasn't as expected, but we had a lot of fun, had a lot of memories, and like I said, made some great friends along the way. The mentality, okay, so I'd say what separates me is my why. The goals that I have set forth, like I said, I plan on retiring my mother within the next couple of years. I have a 5-year-old son, so my why is bigger than any obstacle that I'm gonna face. So I'd say what separates me is just my mentality, my hunger. A lot of it stems from my athletic background, being that I am a competitor. I'm very competitive. I'm very competitive. So with that being said, I mean, every day I'm just looking to be the best at anything I do, whether it be the goals that I have set forth, just the competition in my business, the competitors around me. I want to be the best at everything I do. So my mentality stems from just working hard, being a competitor, really.
As you can see, with lots of hard work and patience, anything is possible. I'm Kevin Humphreys, reporting for Argo News.
Green and brown thumbs are welcome here. UWF's community garden is almost ready for the public, but they're not just focused on growing veggies. The garden is here to serve its visitors and volunteers through education.
It's UWF's best kept secret, a green oasis hiding right behind the water tower.
It's a place where students can come to volunteer their time and just build a community for the future students.
Essentially the root of all life.
An educational area to allow students and community members and faculty to come together and to do one thing together and have an impact.
We're trying to create an organic growing area. We're also here to provide community development and community engagement opportunities and partnerships with our local agencies that are interested in agriculture and growing and education. But right now we're working on not just growing food, but building infrastructure to provide usable spaces for campus events. I have a vision of students getting married underneath this canopy where we're standing, because we don't have a lot of iconic places on campus that allow people to come together outdoors. And the garden is a little bit of a hidden secret right now, and we've kept it that way because of accessibility issues. We've been building infrastructure, and it's sometimes difficult to have a lot of people come here for events when it's not quite fully put together. We're going to have our first big public event at the garden in just a few weeks in April, and we're really excited to open the garden formally to the public at that point. Every time I have a new group of students or a new group of community members or faculty or staff, you watch them discover parts of themselves. Just earlier today I was walking around with some students and just showing them what's growing here, and many of them had never tasted these greens or any of these vegetables before. And so it's that awakening and that education that we're really looking for.
The UWF Community Garden is turning into a place where all Argos can learn and grow. I'm Abigail Meganson reporting for Argo News.
As we wrap up the semester, UWF Argo News reporters were able to sit down with the university's president to talk to her about her plans for UWF and how she's able to manage everything with ease.
Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Keller with Argo News. Today I'm joined with Dr. Martha Saunders, President of UWF. Dr. Saunders, thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
What is your vision for the future of UWF students?
Well, lots of plans for our students, beginning with be sure and graduate. That's something I always tell students. It's not an easy path, but once you do, we want your resume to sparkle. And our vision is that you have opportunities while you're here to get experiences like what you're doing now through internships or international study, undergraduate research that sets you apart so that when your resume is lined up with others, it just jumps for employers. And I think that is a high vision, but it's also very, very achievable.
Do you have any specific plans for the university that you would like to inform the public of?
Oh, yes. Certainly we intend to grow. We intend to grow the intellectual infrastructure that we provide, and that is very much part of our mission. We also are growing physically. We're growing in strengthening our presence, not just on this main campus, but in downtown Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach. But I think what's important is what I want us to be known for. We have a lot of advantages that not every school has, and one of them is agility. I can pick up the phone, have the leadership of the campus in my office in about an hour. We can talk about a problem or a challenge or an opportunity. We can make a plan and we can go. So we can be much more responsive to industry demand, to community needs than many schools can. And so I wouldn't mind having us known as the university of the next big thing, that we are that quick and that on top of what is about to happen.
And that's something to look forward to. As president of the university, what does your job entail on a day-to-day basis?
Well, lots of things, lots of meetings, and I tell people this is a great job for someone with a short attention span because it is something new every day. I certainly meet with my cabinet, my direct reports. They give me their reports on what's happening in, student affairs and financial aid and all of those things. And then I am out in the community a lot. It is not unusual for me to only be on campus a couple of days a week. I spend a lot of time in downtown Pensacola. I'm on the road a pretty good bit for a variety of things, but any president is the walking, talking embodiment of the university, and we have to be a lot of places. So lots of meetings, lots of travel, but it's kind of the job of the head cheerleader for the university.
You're doing a great job for the students here at UWF.
Thank you.
How do you with all that work? Then how do you balance that between your personal life? How do you stop that from seeping in?
Personal life? You have? I don't think I have one. No, I do have one. A lot of it, it's important to plan. When I became an administrator, the man who was then president of the university told me, said, you're going to have to build in time off. Every couple of months, take a long weekend. And you have to fight for it because there are always things to do and they're all important. But so is taking care of yourself and being with your family. So I plan opportunities and defend them pretty vigorously. But my family also understands what I'm doing and why, and they enjoy being a part of it. So.
Dr. Saunders, it's been a pleasure today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Keller with Argo News. Thank you.
That's all we have for today. I'm Kevin Humphreys.
And I'm Abigail Meganson. Thank you for joining us throughout this semester. This has been UWF Argo News.